And like how we reading all the investments in the data centers and everything. That's my company used to do. We used to put in data centers.
Somebody said that they
So,
filed for bankruptcy.
pretty interesting job.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
You don't want.
all right, well,
to.
don't know. I just remember being astounded at the box.
Yeah.
Ask.
And actually that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just because it's all you get something which can't have that come through the
You never know.
whole process again.
That's just a.
capacity, all that number. We, I know if I still was in business, I would have worked with that. The electric line they converted over. You know, state line.
State line.
Yeah. I know it. So
Allowed to talk, is that what I
got a
did?
couple of calls and I said, sorry. Sold the company, we're out of business.
Okay,
Surprised.
Yeah, you're,
All right, can you hear me?
you're not gonna see your voice, right? Or your expression.
That's. I mean, you gotta acknowledge.
Yeah.
When they're the lunch.
You're probably picking
Like
up
going to the old frat
I'm gonna
house.
promote you to.
They had that
Okay.
stale beer
They're
smell.
picking it because we have access to the lakes for ship, for
You have-
trucking can come here. And
All right, I have 6:45. And I'll call this meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is roll call. Please call roll.
Mr. Hemingway,
Here.
Ms. John, is absent. Ms. Mayor, is on Zoom.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Chairman Bradford,
Here.
the BZA is on.
Present.
We have a quorum. So the next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from June 11, 2024. Has everyone had a chance to review the minute? And if so, I'll look for a motion to. pass.
Chairman, I make a motion to accept the June 11th minutes.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Being none, I'll ask you to call roll.
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes,
Ms. John, is absent. Ms. Mayor,
Yes,
Mr. Pulaski,
Yes.
Chairman Bradford.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the preliminary hearing. We have BZA 24006, developmental standard variance, Christy Carson, Roder with Region Contrast is requesting a multiple developmental standard variances from table 26-6405A7 for building setback of an existing building, building composition, building material, frontage build out, entrances, blank walls, and facade openings for 11,476 square foot addition to the existing 4918 square foot building from section 26-6405 S2.I for the installation of sidewalks at 620 Progress Avenue. Has everyone had a chance? I know we don't have a staff report tonight because Ms. Mendoza is not here tonight. Has everyone had a chance?
Yeah.
Will you?
John-
Oh, she's down there? Okay.
Hi, everyone.
So you want to be here in person instead of Zoom. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Pretty good. I can review the staff report just briefly, and if you have any questions, just let me know. So the property is at 620 Progress Avenue. There's an existing building that was first constructed in 1998. It's just over 5,000 square feet and just over 4,000 square feet of associated parking or paving to that. The owner would like to add on there are 4 separate units that is going to be an office and then warehouse space with it. Each of them are just under 2,900 square feet, and then he would extend the parking as well to the south. in the staff report, we do detail out development standards variances that he would need. The next staff report also talks about a use variance. So he will need that front setback. That part is the existing building itself. It was just built under a different code. The building composition, so today's standards allows for a base, a middle, and a cap. The building facade really is like a base and a cap. Building materials, he would just match the existing building materials, which does not meet today's standards. The front facade, would really be along that west side, because each unit will have their own separate access. And then, we just don't know this last piece, the facade openings, and maybe the applicant can speak to that tonight. We do need to determine some compliance standards, so I've listed what we just don't know yet. So hopefully they plan to comply with those. You guys are well aware of the variance standards. Staff is we do have a little bit of concern over the vagueness of the application as detailed above. Overall, the intensity of the use seems to be fitting for the area. So we would recommend moving forward to the public hearing. At the same time, I can talk about the use variance if you'd like me to, since it's the same property, or would you like to just talk about the development standards?
No, Jennifer, let's bring it all to the table.
Okay. So as I stated earlier, the use, what they're wanting to do is an office with a warehouse or warehousing facility. The current zoning does not permit that, so they're asking for that combined use. Office in general, like a medical lab or medical and dental offices are already permitted, but it's that warehouse facility that is not permitted in this district.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any other items you would like to bring up?
That's it.
Okay. Does anyone on the commission have any questions for Jennifer?
Mr. Raffin, I am gonna weigh in, even though I am a non-voting member on the town council liaison. I do have a attorney relationship with issues, so I will abstain from participation.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Anyone else have any questions for staff right now?
Not this time.
Okay. With that being said, I will turn it over to the petitioner. Please state your name and address for the record and relationship to the property.
Thank you. Christy Carson Roder from Region is present here. She's our operations manager. I'm Nick Georgiou. I'm with Region Contractors Design Build, 912 West Avenue H, Griffith, Indiana. The project you have in front of us, we're representing petitioner 620 Progress LLC, who wanted to undertake expansion of his existing building into this multi-use tenant facility. It is broken up into two variances, the developmental standards and then the use variance, and I'll address the developmental standards first. We actually have 9 variances, and literally all 9 are basically asking us to allow the grandfather in the existing building because it was built under the old zoning ordinance. So in order for us to be able to expand on it, we need the variances of the existing building to do the new part. Of the new part, we're proposing only 2 of the developmental variances are what we're requesting on the new part of the building. So per Jennifer's comments, obviously it's a non-conforming building. It was built under the old zoning code. In order for us to enlarge it, we need variance to allow us to do that. It was built where it is. It doesn't conform to the current setback, and propose that we get a variance to allow it to sit where it is. The existing composition of base middle cap, it's an existing masonry base with metal siding and metal coping. Again, that doesn't comply to the current zone. zoning requirement. We are requesting as part of that, that applies to the new part, is that metal siding be an allowable use, for the new part and grandfathered in the old part. The frontage build out, again, the building we built, it doesn't meet the minimum requirement of the frontage width. So we would need a variance to allow the existing building to stay as is basically. When we built the original building, the front wall was a blank wall. By the current zoning code, blank walls are allowed. We would need a variance to allow it to continue as is. Facade openings. Well, there are none in the front, and in this new plan, the original building, the west elevation is actually the primary facade and entrance of the existing building, and all the new multi-tenant spaces are along the west elevation also. So that would be, and then all the requirements for windows and doors, that space, we did provide them as requested on the new part. We're not requesting a monument sign. Again, the sign is supposed to be on the principal face of the building. We're allowed up to 108 square feet, I believe, the linear footage of frontage, but in this case, we're asking that, and it's shown in our application, that's 5 individual signs totaling approximately 100 square feet on the west elevation. That would be a variation from the principal frontage. I'll skip the use variance for now. The last one is, technically, we'd have to have sidewalks. There's absolutely no sidewalks in the business park except at Franciscan Hospital on our side of Superior Street. So the variance request is that we don't provide sidewalks, basically. Those are the 9 developmental variances explained. Hopefully I explained them. If you have any questions, please.
Does anyone have any questions for petitioner? Jennifer, I have a question for you. Does the current building meet the current landscape requirements? Because wouldn't that be a variance as well?
I reply.
You can apply.
The planning department provided a list of questions, which this is a major hurdle, to be honest, about the use, the developmental variance. Our reply to HVAC units, landscaping, screening, parking, ADA parking, the whole 9 yards, we will comply. So we'll update the landscaping for the entire project based on current landscaping ordinance. We'll provide parking, comments about ADA and BAM spacing. If there's any other criteria, the dumpster enclosure, which is shown on our plan, but with the intent is all those improvements that aren't shown here that will provide part of the building will comply with the current zoning ordinance.
What is the intent of the uses? Are you leasing each one individually out? Are they
Well, we show
owner occupied or?
well, the owner occupies the front part.
Okay.
He may expand into some of the additional parts. He hasn't indicated that. These multi-use flex buildings on the warehouse are in high demand. You know, we'll got mom and pop shops or even bigger shops. They have a little office, service office, they have a warehouse in the back. And we show the worst case scenario. We've actually run the parking model, these parking drives, this project and the use allowance. We ran it for, if it was a single tenant, and my parking count is under the 22 spaces if it's office warehouse, assuming about 2,400 square feet of office. I ran with 2 spaces of 6,000 square foot each, again, approximately 1,200 square feet of office each. I still hit the parking number. This one, which is, I guess, the worst case scenario, including existing, is 5 tenants with office, warehouse, and I'm still at 22 parking spaces. So it is basically a spec building. There's some potential tenants, but it may end up with 1 tenant, it may end up with 4. But we had to run the scenario so that we could cover what, for this type of use, that we make sure we can parking.
Now with 5 or so different tenants, nothing will be parked outside of this property. Everything would be parked inside. You won't see trucks or anything parked on the property at nighttime.
Other than employee parking and
Everything is contained inside.
Yes, absolutely.
One issue I have is the sidewalk's a tough sell. Because if everyone says, I don't put a sidewalk in, we never complete sidewalk. So the goal of the plan commission, as well as council directive over the years, is we're putting sidewalks in as we go. And that's why you're seeing when people come in front of the BZA and stuff and they update the property. You know, there are sidewalks in town to nowhere, but if we don't put them in, then we'll never have sidewalks complete.
I believe the owner would be amenable, but we would be the only sidewalk and if it's fully developed around us, but so be it.
Three Floyds is, you know, there's sidewalks around different
Correct.
areas in that area that go to nowhere right now, you know, so.
But we have.
But the intention is to get sidewalks in town because
Correct.
we don't want people walking the streets.
Understood. Understood.
Any other questions? No? That being said, I'm looking for a motion to set this for public hearing.
Chairman, I like to motion to. Yeah, BZA. 24-006, move to a public hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? That being said, Debbie Cole?
Okay, Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson is absent, Ms. Mayor,
yes,
Mr. Pulaski,
Yes,
Chairman Ray.
Yes. Please work with staff and making sure all the notification requirements are met to set this for public hearing.
Thank you.
All right.
Absolutely.
I think you're on the agenda next too.
Yes.
The next preliminary hearing, we have BZA 24007 use variance. Christy Carson Reuter with Region Card Tractors requesting a use variance from table 266405A7 to allow future warehouse facility uses within a proposed 11,476 square foot addition, an existing 18 square foot office warehouse building at 620 Progress Avenue. Jennifer, I'll turn this over to you again. Jennifer, are you there?
Mr. Chairman, I think she already described the use variance when she talked
Yeah,
about.
I didn't know if she
the
wanted to give anything else to
Standard
talk about.
variance.
I
Okay.
did. I don't have anything more to add unless you have any questions for me.
No, I do not.
Okay.
That being said, you want to touch anything else
Sure.
on this one?
Well, I brought some supplemental information which I can distribute, but I've been through the entire business park to look at the uses that are in throughout the business park. Our neighbor to the east is Bowman Printing, which is office, warehouse, factory. Our immediate neighbor to the west, which currently is a golf shop, is actually a multi-tenant office warehouse facility. To the west of them is American Machine Corporation, which is office, warehouse, manufacturing. Point is, there's multiple warehouse operations within the existing business park. We're not asking you to put something unusual that doesn't exist in there. I guess I'll leave it at that relative to the use that you propose.
There's no intention of selling each unit out like a condo, is there?
Not at this point, but we're aware.
Because that's one thing I wouldn't want to, see
I'll relay that to the owner.
5 different owners on the same property. And it's a little tricky with such a small units.
I do know, as I said earlier, these units are in demand for leasing, and I think there will be a problem filling the space.
Any other questions for petitioner?
Mr. Chairman, I will again reiterate my comments. I have a attorney relationship with a member of the petitioner, so I will abstain from making the
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. That being said, I'm looking for a motion for BZA 24007.
Chairman, I make the motion to accept the public hearing, BZA 24-007.
We have a motion to a second.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Being said, call roll please.
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson is absent, Ms. Mayor,
Yes,
Mr. Pulaski,
Yes,
Chairman Radley.
Yes. Please work with staff once again, make sure all the public notification.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is BZA 24003, development of standard variance, Joy Brown representing Howard Weiss of the Fairmont Business Building is requesting development of standard variances from Town of Munster zoning code table 266701B monument sign specific standards for quantity area, height, and landscaping from section 26.6701 B5E to extend an existing sign camera on each side of an existing monument sign located at 9245 Calumet Avenue. Jennifer, I'll turn this over to you.
Thank you. As you stated, it's a multiple development standards variances for an existing monument sign. This was constructed some time ago, so it is legal non-conforming. The applicant is wanting to update the cabinet within the monument sign itself, which does invoke that it needs to comply with current standards. So they are requesting those development standards variances to become compliant. You'll see some renderings in the staff report of how that will look to be more visible from Calumet. Overall, staff does not have major issues with the project itself. We're glad they're updating and making the sign more visible. We would also suggest that some overgrown landscaping be removed. The building owner is saying a lot of people are driving past, not knowing where these tenants are located. So this overgrown landscaping I've detailed, possibly putting an address number on that corner to help direct people into that parking lot before they go past it. So we would suggest that as a condition of approval.
Thank you, Jennifer. Does anyone have any questions for staff? If there are no questions for staff, I'll turn it over to petitioner. Please state your name and address for the record.
Howard Wise, now do you want the building address? 92, I kind of 9245.
Your building owner.
Yeah. Okay, so, Joy Brown has, I think, appeared before the board a month ago. I've not been in town, I just got in town. She was ill, so she can't be here. I think she's on, the Zoom.
Okay.
I believe is she there? Okay. And, I'm sort of coming into it. I've again been out of town and I'm just getting back in town. And so she's been my boots on the ground and my eyes and ears. And kind of tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's going on, so.
Did she convey all that to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, we heard staff presentation on the meeting we were looking for and stuff like that. The commission had several issues after driving past the property, as she probably made you aware of. Construction trailers, construction trucks, dumpster enclosures that's falling apart,
Sure.
all this kind of stuff. I mean, I have pictures. I mean, one night I drove past it. You want your sign seen, but literally there's a Bobcat trailer parked in front of the sign.
Yeah, I'm retired.
Yeah.
Okay, recently.
Yeah, it's hard to
This
see.
is my first year that after 45 years being retired, my son is now running the company. I've not been around. She told me, he asked me if he could park a trailer there, and I said, sure, go ahead, and then this has happened.
Right.
So,
Now there was
the
seven.
long and the short of it, though, everything's gonna be out by the end of the month.
Yeah, because the one night I drove past, there were 7 trailers, 3 construction trucks.
Yeah,
It's not a construction yard. It's not.
I let them know today that I'm gonna be getting,
Right.
I'll be hearing about it.
Right.
So,
And code enforcement's also been notified.
Yeah.
Start issuing, I believe, citations.
well, hopefully, hopefully not, but they'll be gone is the long and the short of it. So, and I apologize for,
It's a beautiful, it's a nice building. You have a nice sign.
Yeah.
The building's always been kept up on the perimeter nicely, so.
yeah, we're being, now that I have been retired, we are completely including the sign and doing some other, pretty much everything. And so now I can focus on it, and Joy's been really helpful with design, and so on both interior and exterior. So on the specifics, she's been the one talking to Sergio and also Ray from Affordable Sign, and they just asked me if I'm gonna, how much, and like, okay, yeah, that sounds fine. Hopefully, get that done and it'll look good
No,
without the trailers.
I think that would make the property look even better. Does anyone else have any questions for petitioner?
Mr. Chairman, I would urge petitioner to read the staff report because the trailers are only one of the issues that the town has identified. in the
Okay.
property. There's also issues with the condition of the landscaping and I heard comments about the condition of the parking lot. Variances are a privilege, not a right. And one of the things that I was on the BZA, I like to see from petitioners was evidence that they're good corporate citizens, that they are giving back to the community as much as they're asking. I think situation with the trailers and landscape and the parking lot, these are all things that probably could use some attention. And as a sign of good faith, should urge that you consider bringing those things up to a better state.
I didn't hear the rest.
Bringing those items and anything else that maybe is not up to Munster standards, bringing those items up to.
Sure.
Up
I
to state.
think Joy submitted the landscaping changes. Joy, are you there? So,
Well, I urge you to consider that, please.
Oh, yes.
Because these are, as I said, variance is not a right, it's
Right.
privilege, and one of the things that I know that the board will consider is how you're presenting your property. Time to make it. So please
Thank you.
consider that.
okay.
Well, that being said, obviously, we're looking at the signage, because he's looking for signage and landscaping. I mean, I would, my opinion is sign, I don't have a problem with sign. I would encourage you to meet the landscaping code that dictates that sign, because we do a landscape code that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in favor of giving variance for landscaping.
Yeah, Joy put it together.
Okay.
That's her, and she put the plan together, and I don't know who she communicated with, but she's been going back and forth with them. And has the plan for it meeting, because she said there's like X amount of ground cover, X amount of, I can't remember exactly what she said, but yeah, it will be, exactly within the parameters of the code.
Meeting code.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to point out, they do plan to meet the landscaping standards on 3 sides. Because of where the sign is located within the parking lot, they just can't meet it on the one side. Because it,
Probably, because the sign's up probably towards the sidewalk.
Is there a way to unmute Joy? She said they can't,
Oh, you know
she
what?
said something, they can't hear me, Nicole.
That's probably because she's just an audience member and you know, normally to be,
Oh, okay. I know she gets it.
you want to call her on your phone, you put the.
Yeah, I can.
Put her on speakerphone
Yeah,
by
she's
the
listening.
microphone.
You got it. How dare you get that?
I'm getting a bit of an echo.
Put it right by the
I'll
microphone.
be walking out of the room, because I don't know how to mute my phone.
Okay.
Okay, so regarding the landscaping, I spoke with Nicole a couple of times and she explained to me what the standards were. Ground cover, shrubs, flowers, so that will be done. I thought at the time that the sign was being installed when we would do that, so that the installation didn't wreck the landscaping. Does that answer the question about the landscaping? Now, I don't, and on the west side of the building, the sign is too close to the sidewalk to meet that 3-foot minimum. I think that the curb that's there is 2.5 feet, so we are requesting a variance that the landscaping only go out 2.5 feet on the west side of the sign because of the distance to the sidewalk.
That's. Thank you for explaining that. Joy, anything else?
Joy, do you know what they're talking about, the parking lot?
The parking lot itself, as in the asphalt,
I don't know. Okay, but
I don't know. I have not heard anything about a question regarding the asphalt.
okay,
The use
we'll
of life,
read whatever.
the use of life on that lot is about this.
What's that?
The use of life on that pavement surface is met its date.
Okay,
If you look at it, it's all.
it's time for new seal, okay.
Time for what?
The use of life, take a look at the parking lot when you're on site, it's, the pavement's totally spider cracked, big potholes, all that stuff, it's.
Are we talking about on the service roads or in the parking lot itself?
Yeah, I don't know, Watson was.
Some of the service
coordinating
roads
the-
and some are parking.
Watson was coordinating that, which is supposed to happen in August, according to the last emails. We all agreed to pick, to, do our part. And
Mr.
they-
Chairman, I
they
have a
had-
question.
They had cut what,
Hold on, Sharon. 1 second, Sharon. 1 second, Sharon.
Okay.
Mr. Weiss, go ahead.
yeah, and so a while back, they asked us to participate, we agreed. And then I think they just, sent an inquiry yesterday or the day before. And it's supposed to happen in August, is that right, Joy?
That's what the email said, yes, from the Watson group.
They're the ones that put in the speed bumps and,
That's a service road. Also look at your interior parking lot.
the interior parking lot,
Yes.
okay.
Ms. Mayor, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, are we going to get a sketch to review to make sure that we're all on the same page of what's going to be done as far as this pavement and landscaping and where exactly the sign is going to be in respect of all of this?
The sign is staying in the same location.
Well, true, but do we have a site plan that shows what's happening as far as these other things?
Well, the only thing we would have is obviously a landscape plan that Mr. Weiss could work with staff to make sure the landscaping meets the current code. We're asking to resurface his lot, but that's also a code enforcement issue that the town of Munster can handle, as well as the parking of the trailers and stuff on site and the dumpster enclosures falling apart. I mean, those are really code enforcement issues. Mr. Wickland, is that something that you put in a motion or?
You can put it in a motion. Appropriate. Thinking, go ahead.
Well, Mr. Wickland, I think you could put in a motion, or you could hold this over a month, see what happens.
We'd like to get the sign going, or that's what we're trying to do. I will take care of the other things, be done by the end of the month. I have a contractor on site, we'll make sure the enclosure is done. I know the service roads will get done, and the landscaping, Joy and Nicole have been going back and forth. And what the exact selections of the flowers are, I was gonna leave that up to her. Okay, but
We just have a minimal requirement that we.
Yeah,
meet, that's all.
and we
Yeah.
want it looking perfect.
Right.
I'm all about that. So,
Yeah, the landscaping will meet your minimal requirements. I'd really like it to look nice on the ground around the sign, but I would like to not install those new plants until after the work is done on the sign itself, because I don't want the baby plants trampled, if that's okay.
What would you add as a finding thing? Right.
Absolutely. Right.
So, Mr. Weiss, I think the commission wants to make sure, obviously, you're in agreement that if it's an emotion that, obviously, if you're agreeing to that, making sure the parking lot, is in good shape,
mhm.
meeting the requirements on landscaping, minus the plantings on the west side that you can't do. The trucks and trailers are going by.
Yeah, that's
at the
all.
end of the month,
Yeah.
and, what was the other issue? Oh, obviously you got some maintenance on the dumpster enclosure because
Right.
your gates are falling off and all that kind of stuff. Those are some simple things,
I want it
Right, right.
perfect.
Mr.
So-
Chairman,
Yes, Jennifer.
I would suggest on those items for the paving, the dumpster, that there is a date associated with that. So if you say something to the effect of, 60 days from this approval, something along those lines.
We can put the end of the month. We can put by August 1st if you like.
Well, I don't want to put you in the paving
Okay.
season right away for the lot, because there's a lot of pavings outside, so you
Right.
already have a hard time finding paver right away.
Okay.
Obviously.
Not the right time to plant for either. It's too hot for landscaping.
Right. So, I mean, we can work with you for a longer timeline on planting and also the paving season,
Well, my
But
intention is
trailers,
to
we could do
assure
in
you
30
that
days, you know what I mean?
I will do it.
Right. Jennifer, would that sound agreeable?
Sorry, there was people talking over each other.
Oh,
Did you say
sorry.
30 days?
Well, I was mentioning like 30 days for the truck and trailers. We can give October 1st for paving and October 1st for plantings.
Yeah,
Just like-
whatever you're comfortable with.
I mean, you have a timeline at least, and then you're, planting with some good weather, and if you have an irrigation system, you probably be planting earlier. Any thoughts?
Did Ray give an ETA on the sign, once approved? Joy?
No, I don't know for Ray how long it's going to take him once it's approved. I would assume once it's approved, he can start work on it right away, but I have not asked him if there's a lag time there.
That would be the only, him finishing would be the only issue as far as landscaping.
Yeah, well, the landscaping most likely.
Within
just
60
be
days,
done.
you're gonna
It'll
complete
probably
the
be done
sign.
less
I
than
would,
October,
guess
anyway,
by September, you'd have a sign. up,
Yeah.
right?
And we can get those dumpster doors put back on like within a week, I think we can get out to do that, so.
We'll give you some time
Thanks.
on it, so. Do you want me to throw out some dates on there and see if the commission agrees with it? Okay. For the trailers, we'll give you 30 days, we'll say August 9th, with the trucks and trailers.
Okay.
Okay, you want to put that in a motion? Whoever makes that. Doesn't make that motion? Not really.
Can't.
So I'll put the
but
dates
You
on
know
there.
what, what you can do, you can lay out the timeframes, and then one of the other, members can move accordingly.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
I could
Thank
submit,
you.
I
Thank you.
could send in some photos if you'd
Yeah.
like as well.
I still have to open this for a public hearing since this is a public hearing.
Oh.
So what I'll do is, let me open it for a public hearing. I'll have you have a seat. If there's anyone to speak in the public, we'll open it
Yeah.
right back to you.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
This is a public hearing. We're looking, we'll open it to the floor for BZA 24-003 for the development of standard variance. Is anyone here on behalf of the public that would like to speak on regarding this petition? Going once, going twice. That being said, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the BZA. Mr. Weiss, you continue.
I don't think I have anything to add.
Okay, then I'll put some dates on there.
Yeah.
And we'll see. So regarding the trucks and trailers, we'll say August 9th.
Okay.
Regarding the paving restoration, we'll give 10-1. Dumpster fence. I'll put that 10-1 and landscaping. 10-1. Now, obviously, I think you would want to get that done earlier, but as soon as your sign is done, you can complete it. September is a great month to plant. Not as dry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anyone else have any questions regarding? That being said, I would look for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve BZA 24-003 variances as detailed. August 9th to have trailers removed from the property, paving to be by 10-1, dumpster fencing to be 10-1, landscaping by 10-1, and findings with the condition of the address numbers to be added to the southwest corner. The overgrown landscaping trimmed back.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? That being said, would you please call roll?
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. Jones is absent. Ms. Mayor,
Yes,
Mr. Pulaski,
Yes,
Ms. Raffin.
Yes. Joyce, thank you for working with the town.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. We appreciate your working with us and being a good corporate citizen.
Thank you.
All right, have a great night. Next item is finding the fact, BZA 24-002, development of standard variance, Aaron Ducci, represent Dr. Gustavo Galante of Gem Med Spa. Receive variances from table 26-671B, window signs will allow window and door signs installed without a permit to remain on display at 9610 North Simple Drive, Suite B. Everyone had a chance to review this. What's that? Take it ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll support that motion.
Any further discussion? No discussion. That being said, would you please call roll?
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. Jones is absent, Ms. Mayor,
Yes,
Mr. Polonsky,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is continued discussion items, other business. Do we have any? Gentlemen, I see you here. Was there supposed to be anything on the agenda with you guys tonight or just?
Yeah.
Well, we were told get stuff submitted by 3 weeks ago by noon, so then we would be heard tonight. Coached by Sergio and
Yeah,
office over here.
I didn't see anything on there regarding what you're looking.
For a sport court variance, enclosed sport court for residential address.
Okay. Because you'll have to go obviously through the preliminary hearing and then the public hearing.
Is this the preliminary hearing tonight?
Well, we always have a preliminary public, you know, but I didn't see any documents on the agenda to see even what you're proposing.
Who would verify that? Is that something we get a confirmation for?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Jennifer.
I don't know all the details. I do know in conversations with the staff, I believe Nicole and Sergio were going to reach out to the gentleman and ask for some more details on items. And I'm not aware that they heard back, but that's just what I know.
Okay.
So we're approved.
What's that? Yeah. I don't even know what you're presenting, and what the variance for, you know?
Okay, so basically reach back out to Nicole, we'll get this. figured out.
Yes. Get some. I thought maybe there's some notes and other things that Jennifer's something gonna pop up, but I have nothing on here showing any drawings or anything.
That's fine now, you know, first of all.
Sorry to have you here, but you gotta see local government at its best tonight.
Yes, we did.
So, that being said, are there any other discussion items or other business? Jennifer, anything else?
I do not have anything.
All right, next meeting is August 13th of 2024. So make sure you talk to Nicole and Sergio, so you get all the drawings. You can do a site presentation, all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
All right. That being said, I look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to be a second.
Second?
Any discussion? Please call roll.
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Jones is absent. Mr. Polonsky,
Yes.
Ms. Mayor,
yes.
Yes. Well, good. Yeah, thank you.
Aaron, you got the drawings. I would look at it just to see, you know. All my papers. Well, this is Chad.
Hey, Roland, how are you?
I said, we're relatively legal process like this, so for this, something, please let us know. I thought that if we didn't hear anything, I thought everything was good.
you would have gotten it.
It's the one that. Before live off. That was our question because there's a number of